right. Well, I'm Josh Croning, and I'm here with Ashley and Christine from the Butterfly Effect Foundation, and they're both Las Sendas residents. And today we're going to get to know them a little bit and a little bit more about the Butterfly Effect Foundation. So I'll start with you, Ashley. Do you want to introduce yourself, and then you can both kind of tell us about this foundation and what it's about?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Las Sendas resident, like you said,
Yep.
born and raised in Mesa, Arizona, and actually the treasurer of our foundation as well lives here,
Okay.
and she is my mom.
Oh,
So
really?
she holds me very accountable.
Okay. So who got in first, you or your mom?
Well, we back up a little bit. If you're familiar with anything with girls in foster care,
Yep.
they have in the court system when they're part of a group home or even just in foster in general, there's something called court appointed special advocate, and it's called a CASA.
Okay.
And my mom actually was a CASA, and I was mentoring girls in care. Didn't know what a CASA was, but one of our girls went missing,
Oh my
and it
gosh.
was really difficult. And my mom said you should become a CASA because I didn't understand what was happening behind the scenes and what DCS was actually doing. And so I became a CASA to really understand the, just the department, the agency, and things like that. So my mom got me into it.
Okay.
We started Butterfly Effect Foundation, and she was the first person I asked if she would join the board. And she said yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Christine, you want to tell us a little bit about you and your
Sure.
role with Butterfly Effect Foundation?
Yes, I actually met Ashley through volunteering for another foster organization. I was doing an innovation think tank to come up with services to like serve foster youth better. And I interviewed Ashley and we were talking about just all the gaps. And she's like, oh, I'm starting a foundation and I think it's going to help solve a lot of these. And we need mentors. And I think I was like 30 weeks pregnant at the time.
Mhm.
With my third kid. I have three kids,
Okay.
4 and under. And I was like, yes, I want to be a mentor.
I need something else to do.
Right. I was like, really? You're amazing. And she actually, like she'd said, she called to kind of critique maybe a program that was working with another organization. And I
Okay.
loved the program, but there were a couple hiccups.
Okay.
And so she was just trying to iron those out. And I invited her to our kickoff event a few years ago. She came, and I am just amazed at Christine. I mean, she's a busy
Good.
mom, she's a small business owner, and she is one of the strongest mentors that we have. So
Okay.
it's pretty inspiring. Yeah, she is my neighbor, not next door neighbor, but we're like a 5-minute walk.
Good. Getting to know your neighbors is a big deal. And I've focused on that a lot these last several years, just getting to know who you share your neighborhood with.
Absolutely.
Like it's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
you live with these people and a lot of people don't know who their neighbors are.
Yeah.
So as someone who knows a little bit about the foster care and foster system, when do you start mentoring these girls and kind of what's your process? Like, what do you mentor them to do? Like, what's your outcome? What do you
Sure.
hope to get done?
So Butterfly Effect is really focused on females.
Okay.
It doesn't mean we won't mentor young men, but our real focus is teenage
Okay.
girls, since we're women ourselves and we kind of understand what
Yeah.
young girls go through. Again, 15 to 21. So 15 to 17, they're in DCS care. And then
Okay.
if they decide to sign an extended foster care agreement, then, they can stay in until they're 21, but they don't have a
Okay.
judge, they don't have court, they don't have a DCS specialist. It's really just financial help and someone to hold them accountable. But the reason we started Butterfly Effect is because there was just such a gap in very, very basic needs for the girls. Most of our girls are struggling to graduate high school, period, especially on time. None of them have their permit or driver's license.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of them have never worked or even volunteered. So we really focus on just kind of building them up. And a lot
Okay.
of them don't feel beautiful and seen. And we're here just to say, you know what, you are beautiful. God loves you. And we are a Christian organization.
Okay.
So our mentors
Wonderful.
are Christian, and that's just kind of the foundation. So we do invite them to come to church or come to Christian concerts and things like that. But that is not something that we push on the
Okay.
girls. It just is they're seeking that.
It's heartbreaking to think that kids can get kind of lost in the system and forgotten about.
Absolutely.
You
And
know,
these are
that
the
seems like
girls
what you
living in
focus
group
on.
homes. I mean, there's 10 girls in a home, 10,
Okay.
and they all have special needs, meaning, there's something going on in their life. Either they're involved in, all of them have had very traumatic experiences, but some of them are
Sure.
past that talk therapy. So how are we going to address those issues?
Okay.
And really that's where the mentors come in. They just walk alongside them, if the girls move group homes, their mentor goes with them. If the girls move DCS or their DCS specialist changes, the judges change. I mean, so much disruption happens in their lives, but the mentor stays constant.
And that's like the key formative years of their life.
Yes.
Like they're trying to become an adult and they're getting moved around.
Yeah.
So you gave me a present.
I did.
It's an origami butterfly, and I guess this is something that the girls make.
Yes.
Do they all do this? Is this something like a project you all?
Not all of them. Some of them
Okay.
we tried to get to. And here's the thing, if they don't have any volunteer experience on the resume whatsoever, I tell them, okay, come volunteer for Butterfly Effect. And so they can at least have something on the resume and they'll sit. We actually use these at special events. So we have a tea party coming up here in Las Sendas.
Oh, yeah.
But we use these as raffle tickets. So every person that comes to any of our events will get an origami butterfly that they get to keep.
Okay.
There's always a number on the back and it's a raffle ticket. Yeah.
Okay. So when is that event? You gave me some flyers. So we've got an event coming up. Is it like it's a fundraiser?
It is a fundraiser,
Okay.
but it's really just to honor the women that are involved, have our mentors bring their butterflies. So the girls that we call mentees are their butterflies. And really, we actually have 2 full group homes that are going to come and bring the girls. We're going to be dress shopping ahead of time and getting them prepared.
Great.
But yeah, it's open for everyone. There's no cost to attend. We will have silent auction and some ways to raise money, but it's really about awareness.
Okay. And it's March 28th?
Saturday, March 28th here at the Members Club.
Okay.
So.
And have you done it before? Have you done it in years past?
Yes, this is the 3rd annual.
Okay. What kind of attendance did you have last year? Was it pretty well attended?
Yeah, 70?
Yeah,
Okay.
You hosted it.
We hosted at my home.
Oh, really?
And we just grew. So we're like, okay, we're coming to Las Sendas.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, that's good. You're growing.
Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely.
And then, so you get some of the girls to start businesses. Is that what you do too?
Well, Christine does.
That's your role, Christine. Okay.
She's
Entrepreneur.
Great. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And one of them has a flower business. Is that what we were talking about earlier? So
yeah.
How did that grow and what does that look like? You know, a young girl starting a business. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Totally. Well, when I first met my mentee, I had this plan for her. We were going to go out to lunch and I was going to wine and dine her and it was going to be great. And she was like, oh no, I don't eat at restaurants. Okay. Well, I'm going to come up with options now. And then I realized, options are good and I can start to learn what she really likes. And so the next time I met with her, we ended up going to my house and baking a cake. And that was fun for the first time we met.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But then I came up with options and then she kept picking flowers. She wanted to go learn flowers. I actually took my first flower arranging class here in Las Sendas.
Okay.
I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Learned how to arrange flowers. So that was one of our activities. We went to Trader Joe's. We got the flowers. We learned about it. She learned how and she loved it. And then I was like, what if you could make money doing this? And she's like, that would be amazing.
And does she? Does she sell flowers?
She's had over $5,000 of flower sales since she started a year ago.
Oh, that's so cool. And that's just one story. That's just one of your girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's fascinating. And what's amazing is Christine and her butterfly, they have to do the whole marketing, right? So they had to come up with a name and her butterfly picked the name of her small business. They came up with a design and a logo and business cards and flyers and then marketing and customer service and you name it. They do deliveries included in the $100 bouquet and the bouquet's beautiful and it's huge. So are you married?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Do you have children?
Yep. I have 2 boys.
All right.
So they're probably not interested in the flowers.
No.
My wife is.
But Mother's Day is coming up and they have a good Mother's Day special coming up and it includes delivery here in Las Sendas and all throughout the East Valley, really.
Okay.
But the reason what is so special about her starting the business is Arizona Friends of Foster Children. They have what's called Keys to Success, and it's a match. They have inside Keys to Success as a match program. And it's if the girls can save $3,000 while working, Keys to Success will save $3,000. So her first car will be $6,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So March 28th, 10 a.m. is your tea party.
It's a tea party.
Okay. And if people wanted to get in touch with your girl about flowers, I mean, how do they find these businesses?
She has a website now.
She does?
So she just launched a website and you can place an order online and see like the past flowers, which is really nice. And so all of her orders go through there. And then, she does, usually her orders are like twice as big as what you get at a florist. So it's a really good deal and beautiful.
And you know where the money goes. It goes to a good cause.
You know exactly where it goes. A lot of these girls too, it's really hard to hold a job because a lot of them are behind. On average, kids in foster care miss 80 days of school a year. So it's almost half the year. So it's like impossible to catch up, nonetheless, just to pass. In Arizona, you keep going forward even if you failed. So like
I've heard that. That's pretty wild.
It's really hard. And so then to keep a job on top of being behind in school is really hard. And then to not have that freedom as a teenager or have any spending money, this has given her that. And so she gets to do these ad hoc jobs and learn about having her own business. It's been like the number one thing that's increased her confidence.
I'm sure.
So it's really
That's great.
incredible.
So what's the website?
I think I'm going to need to get back to you on that.
We can
URL.
post it in the podcast because it's a podcast, so there'll be like a title. We can post it in the title or at the bottom of the
Yeah,
podcast.
that would be amazing.
But we had a
that'd be
woman,
cool.
Lori. Lori used to be the creative director for Hallmark, helped them make their website. So it didn't cost her butterfly anything to create the website. We just have a really great community of women that want to help.
Good.
And a lot of women can't actually mentor because, you know, it is a time commitment. We actually ask if you can be in this young lady's life until she ages out. So that could be 3, 4, or 5 years. But really, we want to be invited to their weddings and their baby showers and all of the things, right? In the future, this is not just a short term. But there are other women that are like, hey, I can't mentor, but I can build a website. I can teach them how to bake. I can do other things.
Cool. You have such a huge part in them becoming successful adults.
We hope so.
They probably wouldn't do it without you. That's really cool.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's the Butterfly Effect Foundation. And we'll post the website to buy flowers in the podcast description. It was great to meet you both. Before we go, I like to ask people kind of a Las Sendas specific story. Can you tell me about an interesting animal encounter you've had in Las Sendas?
I can.
Okay.
Well, we have like cameras in the back and we haven't seen much. We actually got the open space. So there are a lot of wildlife there. I just don't see them all. But
they're around.
They're around. They're around. Other than the rats that we have.
Everyone does.
Everyone does. But we were gone. Our babysitter was there and a bobcat came up right to our window and watched my 1-year-old and 2-year-old for like 15 minutes. Just sat there. And
right by the window,
looking in.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was incredible. And I have a picture of it and I didn't get to see it, but that was like, they are so enthralled with bobcats.
You know, I walk my dogs in the morning. I have 2 golden retrievers and I walk them in the morning in the dark and I wear like a headlamp flashlight so I can look for cactus spikes and, you know, whatever. And that's when I see the most bobcats is early in the morning because you can see their eyes. Like, I feel like if you don't see their reflective eyes, you'll never find them. Unless you have like, you know, cameras at your house or you're watching your backyard constantly. But I don't know. Everyone in Las Sendas has some experience with animals because there's so many different kinds. But it was wonderful to meet you both. Yeah. And thank you for telling us about the Butterfly Effect Foundation. And I hope your tea party gets well attended. And
it will. Yeah.
Thank you for the present.
Absolutely. Thank you for highlighting us and our girls, the butterflies. They really deserve it. And we are always looking for mentors. We do have waiting lists. So yeah.
Okay. There's waiting list for girls to get mentors.
Correct.
Okay. Good to know. Because that's important. So,
absolutely.
Well, thank you both. It's wonderful to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.